The screen fades from a silent, almost eerie black. A single, stark white question appears, lingering for a moment before dissolving. Why do we sabotage ourselves? A soft, almost imperceptible hum begins, a low, thrumming sound that hints at something hidden beneath the surface. The visual shifts to a dimly lit, abstract animation of gears turning slowly, then grinding to a halt. A voice, calm and measured, yet imbued with an undercurrent of intrigue, begins to speak. There's a shadow that follows us, a silent saboteur that whispers promises of tomorrow, even as today's opportunities slip through our fingers. It's a force so pervasive, so deeply ingrained in human experience, that we often mistake it for mere inconvenience, a simple bad habit. But what if it's more? What if this relentless postponement, this insidious delay, is not a flaw in your willpower, but a sophisticated defense mechanism, a dark secret your mind keeps even from itself? The gears on screen begin to reverse, slowly at first, then picking up speed, as if rewinding time. The hum intensifies slightly, a low drone that pulls you in. We stand at the precipice of understanding, ready to delve into the labyrinthine corridors of the mind, to unearth the true nature of procrastination. This isn't about quick fixes or superficial tips. This is about a profound psychological excavation. We're going to dismantle the common myths, expose the hidden triggers, and most importantly, equip you with the tools to break free from its suffocating grip. This journey demands a willingness to look inward, to confront uncomfortable truths. But the reward? A life unburdened by the weight of unfulfilled potential. If you're ready to truly understand the forces at play within your own mind and unlock a new level of personal power, then take a moment to subscribe to Behind the Behavior. Join our community of curious minds, because what we're about to uncover will change the way you see yourself and the world around you forever. The animation transitions into a stylized representation of a brain, shimmering with faint interconnected light patterns. For too long, procrastination has been framed as a moral failing, a testament to laziness or lack of discipline. This narrative, while pervasive, is a dangerous oversimplification. It breeds guilt, shame, and a self-perpetuating cycle of inaction. Imagine for a moment an architect named Elias. Elias is brilliant, visionary, capable of designing structures that defy imagination. Yet, when faced with a blank page, the initial blueprint, he freezes. Days turn into weeks, the deadline looms, and the stress mounts. He knows what he needs to do. He possesses the skills, the knowledge, the desire. So why does he find himself caught in this paralyzing loop, endlessly scrolling through irrelevant articles, organizing his desk for the 10th time, anything but starting the actual work? Elias, like so many of us, is not lazy. He is trapped. And the key to his freedom and ours lies in understanding the complex psychological mechanisms that fuel this seemingly irrational behavior. It's a journey into the depths of self, a quest for the hidden levers that control our decisions. We begin by shattering the most common misconception. Procrastination is not about managing time. It's about managing emotions. Think about that for a moment. It's not about the task itself. It's about how the task makes you feel. The brain animation pulses gently, as if responding to the revelation. Dr. Tim Pychyl, a leading researcher in the field, defines procrastination as the voluntary delay of an intended action despite anticipating negative consequences. The key word here is voluntary. We choose to delay, even when we know it will harm us. But why? The answer, as we will uncover, is rooted in our ancient brain's attempt to protect us from discomfort. When faced with a challenging task, one that evokes feelings of anxiety, fear of failure, boredom, frustration, or even the dreaded feeling of being overwhelmed, our brain, in its infinite wisdom, seeks an immediate escape. This escape often manifests as a more pleasurable, less demanding activity. This is not a conscious, malicious act of self-sabotage. It's an automatic and almost reflexive response, a primal impulse to avoid pain. The immediate relief we experience from delaying a difficult task is a powerful, albeit short-lived, reward. This reward reinforces the behavior, creating a vicious cycle. Each time we procrastinate and feel that momentary surge of relief, we are unknowingly strengthening the neural pathways that link discomfort with delay. It's a subtle form of operant conditioning, playing out within your own mind. Procrastination is not a failure of willpower, but a dark secret the mind keeps from itself. The darkness of procrastination is not only about unfinished tasks. It is the erosion of self-confidence, the growing sense of being out of control, and the silent accumulation of regret. The visual shifts to a complex, interwoven network of glowing lines representing neural pathways. Some paths appear brighter and more frequently traveled. Let's dissect this emotional avoidance further. Consider the concept of threat response. Our brains are wired to detect and react to threats, whether they're physical dangers or psychological stressors. A daunting project, a difficult conversation, an ambiguous task. These can all trigger a threat response. The amygdala, the brain's alarm system, lights up, signaling danger. Our primitive brain, unable to distinguish between a saber-toothed tiger and a looming deadline, opts for the path of least resistance, escape. This escape mechanism is often disguised as doing something productive, but it's a false productivity. It's the urgent but unimportant tasks that fill our day, giving us the illusion of progress while the truly significant work lies untouched. Elias, our architect, might find himself meticulously alphabetizing his extensive collection of design books, or spending hours researching obscure historical architectural styles, all while the blank blueprint stares back at him. He feels productive, yet deeply unfulfilled. This is the insidious nature of emotional avoidance. It disguises inaction as action. The glowing lines on screen begin to shift, some fading, others intensifying, illustrating the dynamic nature of neural activity. This brings us to temporal discounting. It is a cognitive bias in which we value immediate rewards more than future rewards, even when the future reward is objectively greater or more beneficial. The immediate gratification of avoiding discomfort, even at the cost of future stress and negative consequences, is incredibly powerful. Imagine being offered $10 today or $100 in a year. Many would choose the $10 now. This same principle applies to procrastination. The immediate relief of not dealing with a difficult task outweighs the future benefit of completing it, at least in the short term. Our future self becomes a stranger, a distant entity whose problems we can comfortably ignore. This is why we often make promises to our future selves. I'll start tomorrow. I'll work twice as hard next week, knowing full well that our future self will likely face the same emotional hurdles. The trick, then, is to bridge this gap to make the future self's well-being more salient in the present moment. The screen shows two distinct timelines, one short and brightly illuminated, the other long and dark, with a small glowing bridge trying to connect them. But the dark secret of procrastination runs even deeper than emotional avoidance and temporal discounting. It often stems from a deep and often unconscious fear. The fear of failure, yes, but also the fear of success. The fear of failure is a protective mechanism, a way to preserve the ego and self-esteem. If I don't start, I can't fail. If I don't finish, I can't be judged. Elias, for instance, might harbor an unconscious fear that his grand design, if ever realized, might not live up to his own impossibly high standards, or worse, might be rejected by his peers. So, he avoids starting, keeping the dream of perfection safely intact in his mind, undisturbed by the messy reality of execution. But what about the fear of success? This is a more subtle, more perplexing fear. Success brings with it new expectations, increased responsibility, the pressure to maintain a higher standard. It can disrupt our current comfort zone, force us to step into the unknown. For some, the idea of achieving a long-held goal can be terrifying because it means confronting a new identity, a new reality that might feel unfamiliar or even undeserving. It's a fear of the unknown, even when that unknown is positive. It's the fear of the spotlight, the fear of losing anonymity, the fear of having to continually prove oneself at a higher level. This fear can manifest as self-sabotage, including, you guessed it, procrastination. The bridge on screen flickers, as if under strain, then steadies. Now, let's talk about the perfectionism trap. While often lauded as a virtue, perfectionism is a significant driver of procrastination. The belief that a task must be executed flawlessly can be paralyzing. If anything less than perfect is unacceptable, then starting becomes an insurmountable hurdle. The fear of making a mistake, of not meeting an impossibly high standard, leads to endless delays. Elias, with his visionary designs, might spend weeks agonizing over a single line on his blueprint, convinced that any imperfection will invalidate the entire project. This isn't about striving for excellence. It's about an unhealthy attachment to an idealized outcome, an outcome that often doesn't exist in the real world. Perfectionism is often a mask for deeper insecurities, a way to protect a fragile ego from perceived flaws. It's a self-imposed prison of unattainable standards. The irony is that by delaying, the perfectionist guarantees a less than perfect outcome, as time constraints force rushed decisions and compromises. The glowing lines representing neural pathways become tangled and knotted, reflecting the internal conflict of perfectionism. Another powerful yet often overlooked root of procrastination is the concept of learned helplessness. If, throughout your life, you've repeatedly experienced situations where your efforts didn't yield the desired results, or where external circumstances consistently thwarted your attempts, you might develop a belief that your actions don't matter. This can lead to a sense of powerlessness, a resignation that effort is futile. Why bother trying if it won't make a difference? This learned helplessness can manifest as chronic procrastination, a passive resistance to engaging with tasks because the underlying belief is that the outcome is predetermined and beyond your control. This is particularly prevalent in individuals who have experienced trauma or chronic stress, where a sense of agency was repeatedly undermined. The path to overcoming this is to reestablish a sense of control, even in small, incremental steps. The tangled lines on screen slowly, almost imperceptibly, begin to untangle, one by one. So what can we do? How do we break free from this intricate web of psychological traps? The journey begins with self-awareness, with shining a light into the dark corners of our own minds. This isn't about blaming yourself. It's about understanding. The first practical step, a crucial exercise, is to identify your procrastination triggers. For 1 week, keep a detailed journal. Every time you find yourself procrastinating, ask yourself, what tasks am I avoiding? What emotions am I feeling right now? Is it anxiety, fear, boredom, overwhelm? What thought is going through my mind? For Elias, perhaps it's the thought, this has to be perfect or to failure, coupled with a feeling of intense pressure. By consistently connecting the act of procrastination with the underlying emotion and thought, you begin to create a conscious awareness of the pattern. This is the first step in disrupting the automatic, unconscious response. You are essentially bringing the hidden to the forefront, making the invisible visible. A journal appears on screen, with a pen slowly writing down words, then fading to show an empty page, ready for your own entries. Once you've identified your triggers, the next step is to challenge those underlying beliefs and emotions. This is where the power of cognitive reframing comes into play. If your trigger is a fear of failure, reframe the task not as a test of your worth, but as an opportunity for learning and growth. Instead of, I must perfectly design this building, Elias can reframe it as, I will explore different design possibilities and learn from the process. If the trigger is overwhelm, break the task down into incredibly small, manageable steps. This is a Swiss cheese method. Poke holes in the task, one small bite at a time. The goal isn't to finish the entire project. It's to take the very first, smallest step. For Elias, instead of design the entire building, it becomes sketch 3 initial layout ideas for the main entrance. The smaller the step, the less emotional resistance it generates. Each small victory, each hole poked in the Swiss cheese, builds momentum and a sense of accomplishment, gradually rewiring those neural pathways away from avoidance and towards action. The Swiss cheese appears on screen, with small, glowing holes appearing as if being poked. Another powerful technique is temptation bundling. This involves pairing a task you tend to procrastinate on with an activity you genuinely enjoy. For example, I will only listen to my favorite podcast while I work on this difficult report. Or, I will only watch an episode of my favorite show after I completed 20 minutes of a challenging task. This leverages the immediate gratification principle, but in a way that serves your long-term goals. The brain associates the undesirable task with a desirable reward, making the former less aversive. Imagine Elias only allowing himself to indulge his favorite artisanal coffee while sketching his initial blueprints. The act of starting becomes linked to a pleasurable experience, making it less daunting, less emotionally taxing. A visual of two distinct activities, one mundane, one enjoyable, slowly merge and become intertwined. Let's delve deeper into the psychological science behind these strategies. The concept of implementation intentions is crucial. This is about making specific, concrete plans about when, where, and how you will perform a task. Instead of vaguely saying, "I'll work on a report soon," formulate an implementation intention. On Tuesday at 9 a.m., I will go to a quiet room and work on a report for 30 minutes, focusing only on the introduction. This pre-commitment reduces the mental energy required to make a decision in the moment, bypassing the emotional resistance that often arises. It's like pre-programming your brain for success. For Elias, an implementation intention might be, every morning before checking emails, I will spend 15 minutes sketching design concepts in my notebook, specifically focusing on the structural integrity of the main facade. This removes the ambiguity and the mental friction of deciding what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. It establishes a clear path forward, making it harder for procrastination to rear its head. The screen shows a calendar with specific, glowing blocks of time dedicated to tasks. The role of self-compassion cannot be overstated in this process. When we procrastinate, we often fall into a trap of self-criticism and judgment. This only exacerbates the problem, creating more negative emotions that fuel further avoidance. Instead of berating yourself for delaying, practice self-compassion. Acknowledge that procrastination is a silent saboteur, a force so deeply embedded in the human experience that it is often mistaken for a mere inconvenience or bad habit, a complex psychological response, not a moral failing. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a friend. Say to yourself, "I'm struggling with this right now, and that's okay. What's one small step I can take to move forward?" This shift in internal dialogue can significantly reduce the emotional burden and create a more supportive internal environment for action. Elias might acknowledge, "I'm feeling overwhelmed by the scope of this project, and that's a natural response. Instead of getting angry at myself, I'll allow myself to feel this, and then I'll focus on just one small, manageable part of it." This gentle approach disarms the inner critic and opens a door to productive engagement. A warm, gentle light emanates from the center of the screen, symbolizing self-compassion. Another powerful tool is the Pomodoro technique. This involves working in focused 25-minute intervals, followed by a 5-minute break. After 4 Pomodoros, you take a longer break. This technique leverages our brain's ability to focus for short bursts, and the built-in breaks help to prevent burnout and mitigate the feeling of overwhelm. The defined time limit also reduces the perceived magnitude of the task, making it less intimidating. It's a structured approach to managing both attention and energy, directly combating the emotional triggers of procrastination. Imagine Elias setting a timer for 25 minutes, knowing that for that brief period, his sole focus is on drawing, and then he gets a guaranteed break. This structure provides a sense of control and predictability, reducing anxiety. A timer appears on screen, counting down in 25-minute intervals, then resetting for a 5-minute break. But what about those deeper, more entrenched patterns of learned helplessness or the fear of success? These require a more sustained and nuanced approach. For learned helplessness, it's about systematically building mastery experiences. Start with very small tasks where success is almost guaranteed. Each successful completion, no matter how minor, reinforces a belief that your actions do have an impact. Gradually increase the difficulty of these tasks, slowly expanding your zone of competence and control. This is a gradual process of reconditioning your brain, teaching it that effort leads to results. Elias, if he struggles with learned helplessness from past professional setbacks, might start by successfully completing a series of very minor design revisions for existing projects, building up confidence and proving to himself that his efforts are indeed effective. A small, flickering flame on screen gradually grows larger and brighter. For the fear of success, the path involves visualization and exposure therapy. Visualize what success looks and feels like. What are the positive outcomes? How will your life change? Explore those feelings. Familiarize yourself with them. Then, gradually expose yourself to situations that mimic the experience of success. This could be sharing a small win with a trusted colleague, presenting a minor aspect of your work to a small group, or even simply allow yourself to fully celebrate a personal achievement. The goal is to desensitize yourself to the perceived threats of success, to make it feel less alien and more natural. Elias might visualize himself confidently presenting his completed, groundbreaking design to a panel of esteemed architects, focusing on the feelings of pride and accomplishment, rather than the anxiety of judgment. Then, he might practice by presenting a smaller concept to a trusted mentor, gradually increasing his comfort with being in the spotlight. A hazy image of desired future slowly comes into focus, becoming clearer and more vibrant. The dark secret of procrastination isn't a single monolithic entity. It's a complex interplay of emotional avoidance, cognitive biases, and deeply ingrained psychological patterns. But understanding these underlying mechanisms is a first step towards true liberation. This isn't about eradicating procrastination entirely. It's about developing a more conscious, compassionate relationship with it. It's about recognizing when it's a genuine signal of needing rest or a different approach, and when it's merely your brain attempting to protect you from perceived discomfort. The goal is to cultivate meta-awareness, the ability to observe your own thoughts and emotions without judgment, to recognize the patterns before they take hold. The interwoven network of glowing lines on screen now has a central, brighter node, representing meta-awareness, observing the other connections. Let's consolidate these insights and craft a clear roadmap for action. Remember, this is a journey, not a destination. There will be setbacks, but each setback is an opportunity for deeper learning. Step 1, the awareness audit. For 1 week, rigorously track your procrastination. What tasks? What emotions? What thoughts? Be a detective of your own mind. Do not judge, simply observe. This creates the data you need for change. Step 2, the emotional inventory. Once you have your data, identify the most common emotions driving your procrastination. Is it fear of failure, boredom, overwhelming anxiety? Pinpoint the primary culprits. Step 3, the micro-action strategy. For each identified emotional trigger, devise a micro-action, the smallest possible step you can take towards a task. If it's overwhelmed, break it down until it feels almost ridiculously easy. If it's fear of failure, focus on the process, not the perfect outcome. Step 4, the strategic pairing. Implement temptation bundling. Pair a micro-action with a small, enjoyable reward. Make starting feel less like a chore and more like a gateway to something pleasant. Step 5, the compassionate reframe. When you catch yourself procrastinating or feeling negative emotions about a task, pause. Acknowledge the feeling without judgment. Then, consciously reframe the situation. I'm feeling anxious about this presentation. It's okay. What's one small detail I can prepare right now? Step 6, the scheduled attack. Utilize implementation intentions and the Pomodoro technique. Schedule specific times for your micro-actions. Commit to 25 minutes of focused work, knowing a break is coming. This structures your effort and reduces mental friction. Step 7, the mastery momentum. Deliberately seek out small wins. Complete easy tasks first to build a sense of accomplishment and agency. Gradually increase the challenge. Step 8, the visionary practice. If fear of success is a factor, regularly visualize your desired outcomes. Familiarize yourself with the feeling of achievement. Gradually expose yourself to small successes. These steps are interconnected, designed to work in synergy, gradually dismantling the psychological architecture of procrastination. It's about building new neural pathways, replacing avoidance with engagement, fear with curiosity, and paralysis with progress. It's about understanding that the dark secret wasn't a weakness, but a misunderstood defense. And by understanding it, you gain the power to transcend it. The screen shows the 8 steps appearing one by one, each glowing with a soft, encouraging light. The journey we've embarked upon today is not merely about productivity. It's about reclaiming your agency, about understanding profound depths of your own mind. It's about moving from a place of unconscious reaction to conscious creation. Procrastination, in its essence, is a relentless and insidious delay, a silent thief of dreams. But armed with this knowledge, with these practical, psychologically informed strategies, you're no longer a passive victim of its influence. You are an active participant in shaping your own destiny, a master of your inner landscape. The power to change, to transform, lies not in some external magic, but within the intricate workings of your own brilliant mind. This is not a promise of instant transformation, but a commitment to consistent, informed effort. Each small step you take, each moment of conscious choice, is a victory. Each time you choose to engage, even for a few minutes, you're sending a powerful message to your brain. I am in control. I can do this. The darkness recedes not with a grand gesture, but with a steady, persistent light of self-awareness and intentional action. The screen fades to black, then the title reappears. The dark secret of procrastination you can't stop. The mysterious hum lingers for a moment, then a more empowering, uplifting musical motif begins to swell. The insights we've shared today are just the beginning of a profound journey into understanding human behavior and unlocking your true potential. If you found value in this exploration, if the hidden patterns we've uncovered resonated with you, then I urge you to take the next step. Don't let this knowledge become another tomorrow task. Act now. Subscribe to Behind the Behavior. Hit that notification bell and join our community of individuals committed to psychological growth and self-mastery. Share this video with someone who might be struggling. Let's spread the light of understanding. We post new transformative insights multiple times a week, diving deep into the complexities of the mind. Your journey of self-discovery, of truly understanding yourself and those around you, begins here today. Don't just watch. Engage. Don't just listen. Learn. Don't just exist. Thrive. Your future self will thank you for the action you take right now. Click that subscribe button, and let's continue to uncover the hidden patterns that shape our lives together. The uplifting music swells further, then begins to gently fade as a new scene opens. In modern, minimalist office, Day Dr. Anna Reed, 40s, sharp, empathetic, the narrator from the video, is seated at her desk, a sleek monitor displaying complex brain scans. She types intently, then leans back, a thoughtful expression on her face. The office is clean, organized, reflecting a mind that values clarity. Sunlight streams through a large window, illuminating a thriving potted plant. Anna VO, the journey of self-discovery, as I often tell my clients, isn't a single destination. It's an ongoing expedition, a continuous recalibration. We've talked about procrastination, not as a moral failing, but as a deeply rooted psychological mechanism. But to truly master it, to truly thrive, we need to delve deeper into the very architecture of our motivation, our decision-making, and yes, even our resistance to change. She gestures toward the brain scans on her monitor. Anna, VO, look at this. This isn't just a pretty picture. It's a window into the universe within us. These vibrant areas, lighting up with activity, they represent our prefrontal cortex, the seat of our executive functions. Planning, decision-making, impulse control, working towards long-term goals. This is where the magic happens. Or, more accurately, where the intention for magic happens. Anna stands and walks toward a whiteboard covered in intricate diagrams and notes. Anna VO, but intention alone isn't enough. How many times have we intended to start that project, to go to the gym, to learn that new skill? The road to hell, as they say, is paved with good intentions. And often, it's paved with the very best of intentions. The problem isn't a lack of desire. It's a disconnect between our conscious desires and the subconscious forces that often drive our behavior. She picks up a marker and circles a section of the whiteboard labeled Reward System. Anna VO. Here's where dopamine enters the picture again, but with a crucial nuance. We often think of dopamine as the pleasure chemical, and it is in part, but more accurately, it's the seeking chemical. It's what drives us to pursue rewards, to explore, to learn. When we anticipate something pleasurable, a delicious meal, a successful outcome, even just completion of a task, our brains release dopamine, motivating us to act. She underlines anticipation. Anna VO, this is where the dark secret of procrastination gets even darker, and yet, paradoxically, offers a glimmer of profound hope. Our brains are incredibly efficient prediction machines. They constantly evaluate potential rewards and potential threats. When a task feels daunting, uncertain, or simply unpleasant, our brains predict a negative outcome, or at least a lack of immediate positive reward. And what happens when the brain predicts something unpleasant? It seeks to avoid it. Anna taps the whiteboard. Anna, VO, this isn't laziness. It's a sophisticated avoidance strategy, honed over millions of years of evolution. Our ancestors didn't procrastinate on hunting a mammoth because they were lazy. They procrastinated on tasks that seemed to offer low reward for high effort or high risk. Their brains were wired for survival, for immediate gratification and threat avoidance. Our modern brains, despite the complexities of our lives, still operate on these fundamental principles. She moves to another section of the whiteboard, sketching a simple graph. Anna, VO, consider temporal discounting. Imagine a reward. If you get it now, it has maximum value. If you get it in a week, its perceived value decreases. In a month, even less. This isn't just about money. It's about any reward, the satisfaction of a job well done, the feeling of fitness, the knowledge gained. Our brains inherently discount future rewards. The immediate, albeit temporary, relief of not doing something often feels more valuable now than the abstract, distant reward of having done it. She pauses, looking directly at the camera, a gentle but firm expression on her face. Anna, so what does this mean for us, the chronic procrastinators, the dreamers who struggle begin? It means we need to outsmart our own ancient brain. We need to consciously bridge the gap between our abstract future goals and the immediate, tangible actions required to achieve them. We need to make the process of starting, the act of engaging, more rewarding than the act of avoiding. Flashback, montage asterisk, a student staring blankly at a textbook, then picking up their phone. Asterisk, someone in workout clothes looking at a gym bag, then sighing and sitting on the couch. Asterisk, a person at a desk with a blank document open, then opening a social media tab. Asterisk, a chef looking at a complex recipe, then ordering takeout. End flashback in. Modern, minimalist office. Anna is back at her desk, holding a small, smooth stone. Anna, this isn't about willpower. Willpower is a finite resource, like a muscle that fatigues. If you rely solely on brute force to overcome your brain's deeply ingrained reward system, you're setting yourself up for failure and self-blame. Instead, we need to employ strategies that rewire our reward system to make the path of action more appealing than the path of avoidance. She places a stone on her desk. Anna, let's talk about the power of micro-commitments. The biggest hurdle isn't the entire task. It's the initial friction, the perceived monumental effort of starting. Your brain sees write a 10-page report and immediately flags it as a high-effort, low immediate reward activity. It screams, danger, avoid. She smiles slightly. Anna, but what if you reframed it? What if the commitment wasn't to write a 10-page report, but to open the document, or write the title, or brainstorm 3 bullet points for 5 minutes? These are micro-commitments. They are so small, so seemingly insignificant, that the brain's internal alarm system doesn't even register them as a threat. The dopamine hit comes not from completion of the entire report, but from the simple act of starting, of taking that tiny, almost imperceptible first step. Anna picks up a pen and jots something on a notepad. Anna, this is where the concept of identity-based habits becomes incredibly potent. We often focus on what we want to achieve. I want to write a book. I want to run a marathon. But a more powerful approach is to focus on who you want to become. I am a writer. I am a runner. When you adopt an identity, your actions become consistent with that identity. A writer writes. A runner runs. Even if it's just for 5 minutes, even if it's just a single sentence, you are reinforcing that identity. And your brain, ever the pattern seeker, begins to align with this new self-perception. She leans forward, her expression earnest. Anna, think about it. When you say, I'm going to try to write today, there's an inherent uncertainty. Your brain interprets try as possible failure, which triggers avoidance. But when you say, I am a writer and writers write, you're making a declarative statement. You're leveraging your brain's inbuilt need for consistency. Cognitive dissonance kicks in if you then don't write. The discomfort of not acting in accordance with your declared identity can become a powerful motivator. Anna walks over to a large monitor displaying various habit tracking apps and tools. And another critical element is externalizing accountability and creating friction for avoidance. We are social creatures. The fear of letting others down or the desire to impress can be incredibly powerful motivators. This is why accountability partners, masterminds, or even simply publicly declaring your intentions can be so effective. If you tell a friend you're going to write for an hour, the thought of telling them you didn't add a layer of social consequence that your brain registers as a threat to your social standing, a more immediate discomfort than the distant reward of a finished project. She points to a specific app on the screen. Anna, and then there's inverse. Friction for avoidance. Make it harder to procrastinate than to start. If you're constantly distracted by your phone, put it in another room. If you're drawn to social media, install blockers. If your workspace is cluttered, making it hard to focus, organize it. Each small barrier you remove from the path of action, and each small barrier you add to the path of distraction, shifts the balance in your favor. It's about engineering your environment for success rather than relying solely on internal discipline. A graphic appears on screen. The procrastination loop: identify, interrupt, rewire. Anna Vio. Let's break down the practical application of this. The first step is identify your specific procrastination triggers. Is it the overwhelming feeling of a large task? Is it fear of failure? Fear of success? Is it simply the comfort of immediate distraction? Self-awareness is the bedrock of change. Keep a journal for a week, noting every time you procrastinate, what task you avoided, and what emotion or thought preceded it. You'll start to see patterns. The graphic transitions to Step 1. Identify triggers. Anna, once you've identified your triggers, the next step is to interrupt the loop. This is where those micro-commitments come in. When you feel the urge to avoid, don't try to force yourself to do the whole task. Instead, commit to the absolute smallest possible increment. I will open the email. I will read one paragraph. I will put on my running shoes. The goal is not to complete the task, but to initiate motion. Momentum is a powerful force. Once you start, even a tiny bit, the perceived difficulty often diminishes, and your brain starts to anticipate the reward of progress. The graphic transitions to Step 2. Interrupt the loop with micro-commitments. Anna, and finally, we rewire the brain. This is where consistent, intentional practice comes into play. Every time you successfully make a micro-commitment, every time you choose action over avoidance, you're literally strengthening new neural pathways. You are teaching your brain that starting, even when it feels uncomfortable, leads to a positive outcome. The satisfaction of progress, the reduction of anxiety, the reinforcement of your desired identity. The graphic transitions to Step 3. Rewire through consistent action and reward. Anna Vio. This isn't about becoming a robot, devoid of human emotion or natural resistance. It's about building a more resilient, more responsive mental framework. It's about understanding that your brain isn't your enemy. It's a powerful ally if you learn its language. And its language is heavily influenced by reward, by anticipation, and by consistent, reinforced patterns. Anna walks over to a comfortable armchair in her office, picking up a book. Anna considered the concept of temptation bundling. This is a brilliant way to leverage your brain's desire for immediate gratification. Pair a task you dread with an activity you love. Only allow yourself to listen to your favorite podcast while doing laundry. Only watch that guilty pleasure show while on the treadmill. Your brain starts to associate the dreaded task with the desired reward, making the entire experience more appealing. You are, in essence, bribing yourself into productivity, but in a way that creates positive associations over time. She sets the book down. Anna, and let's not forget the power of pre-commitment strategies. This is where you make decisions in advance that limit your future options, making procrastination harder. If you want to exercise in the morning, lay out your clothes the night before. If you want to avoid late-night snacking, don't buy unhealthy snacks in the first place. If you have a big project due, tell your team you'll have the first draft by a certain date, creating external pressure. These are not about willpower. They are about designing your environment and your commitments to make the desired action the path of least resistance. Anna returns to her desk, looking directly into the camera with a warm, encouraging gaze. Anna, the journey from chronic procrastinator to proactive doer is not a sprint. It's a marathon of consistent, informed effort. There will be days you slip. There will be moments of resistance. And that's okay. The key is not to achieve perfection, but to practice self-compassion and resilience. When you fall, don't beat yourself up. Instead, acknowledge the slip, learn from it, and gently guide yourself back to your chosen path. Every small victory, every conscious choice to engage, is a step forward. She smiles, a genuine warmth in her eyes. Anna, the dark secret of procrastination isn't a curse. It's a code waiting to be cracked. And the tools to crack it, the knowledge to rewire your brilliant mind, are now within your grasp. This isn't just about getting more done. It's about reclaiming your time, your energy, and ultimately your freedom. Freedom from the tyranny of tomorrow. Freedom to build the life you truly desire. The scene slowly begins to fade, the light in the office softening. Anna Vio, as we conclude this deeper dive, remember this. Your brain is listening. Every thought you entertain, every action you take, every choice you make, no matter how small, is shaping the neural architecture of your future self. Will you feed the beast of procrastination, or will you cultivate the garden of proactive growth? The choice, as always, is yours. But now you have the map, you have the tools, and you have the power to navigate your own inner landscape, not as a victim of its currents, but as its conscious, intentional architect. The screen fades to black for a moment, then the Behind the Behavior logo appears, accompanied by a final, inspiring musical flourish. Text appears on screen. Your journey continues. Subscribe for more. Behind the Behavior, unlocking your potential. The music holds for a beat, then fades to silence.